are so fun. And this week my students learned all about writing poems. April is National Poetry Month. And to get started on writing poems, there are a few steps. Number one is to read lots of poetry. So we checked out lots of books and we looked through some of them and got ideas on how poems are written. Number two is we learned different types of poetry styles. But the first one we learned was similes. And now this one compares two different things, and it uses the words like and as. And this is Peter's poem that he wrote that uses similes.
This one's called Lion. A lion was like a king, with its mane shining like a crown. It smells like its predator, the gazelle. Some of its fur is orange, as if it had a touch of blood. Its eyes are as dark as night. Its roar sounds like thunder. Its claws are as sharp as iron, as if it kills and slaughters.
I like that a lot. You used a lot of like, is like, and as. Yeah, that's really good. And you had a theme. You were writing about the lion. Perfect. And the second one we learned was a metaphor. And this one, it compares two different things that are completely different, but has something that's in common. And instead of using like or as, here you use is a or has a. I would say metaphors are more difficult than similes, and some of my students had a very hard time writing a metaphor. And here's Peter's metaphor, a poem using metaphor.
This one's called Life. Life is a painting. You choose what to do next. My life is a strap. It holds the pieces together. My heart is a belt. It hides away the secrets within. Life is a crowd, and it is everything that surrounds me.
Great. So in life, his poem, as you saw, he had life is a painting. You choose what you do next. So in a painting, he's saying that painting and life are very similar, but how are they similar? Because you get to choose what you do. In life, you choose how you want to live your life. And in a painting, when you have a painting, you choose how you want to paint it. But they are very different. Painting and life are two different things, but they have something similar, and a reader can really visualize it. The next one is rhyming. Now, rhyming is a pretty easy one, and it's a fun one. You know, when you're making dinner or cooking with your kids, you could just be singing and saying all sorts of silly, funny things using rhyming words. And Peter wrote a poem about with rhyming in it.
This one's called As Winter Comes and Goes. I feel the summer breeze underneath my toes. No more winter freeze, and everybody knows. Now there's nectar for the bees, now it no longer snows. I wonder how it's like another seas as winter comes and goes.
That's great, and as you could see, he for this one, he did it every other line. So I feel the summer breeze underneath my toes, and then he goes, no more winter freeze. So breeze and freeze, and toes and nose, and bees and seas, and snows and goes. So rhyming is really fun, and for Peter, rhyming is actually really, really easy. And most of the time when he does write a poem using rhyming, there's no correction needed because it's so good. Now, the last one that we learned was the haiku poem. Now, this poem, it's fun, and it could be a little challenging because, not too challenging, but it is because you have to put some math, some thinking in it. It has syllables in it. So the first line has to have 5 syllables, and syllables are when you say something, how it sounds like chicken has 2 syllables, because you're saying chicken. So the first line has to have 5, the second 7, and the third 5. Now here is Peter's haiku poem.
This one is called Faith Haiku. His children. Yes, we were sent here because of the Lord our God. We are his children.
So as you can see, he wrote, yes, we were sent here. So yes, we were sent here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, you're right. There's 5. Sorry. Yes, we were sent here. 5. Sorry. And then because of the Lord our God. So because has 2 of the Lord our God. So that is 7. And then again, he has we are about his children, which is 5 because children has 2. Now the third thing is when you're writing a poem, you want to choose a topic. Peter's pretty good at writing topics. He sits down and he knows kind of what he wants to do. Can you explain kind of how you do it?
The way I do it is I think of a topic. This is a part that takes me a long time. The words take me a short time, but the topic takes me a while. After I do the topic, I think about the lines in my head and try to figure out what rhymes or something that has enough syllables or anything like that. All the simile, the metaphors, haiku, those are all pretty simple. You can figure them out without having to think it up in your head. But when it comes to rhyming, you have to think about the lines and what words you're going to use to make it rhyme.
Good. Now the fourth thing you want to do is write and brainstorm your ideas. For me, if I wrote a poem, it would take me hours to write it, and I would have bubbly circles everywhere and words and ideas all over my page. Now Peter could sit down and write a poem in 10 minutes. I don't know how he does it, he just has it all in his head. So some people are visual, where they can actually see it in their head, and some people really need to see it on paper like me. And then the fifth one is post your poems online at allpoetry.com. Now this is a great website. Peter has it, and I will link on the bottom saying where you could see all his poems. And why this is great is because you actually can have other people, and it's all different ages, so it's not only the students or certain ages, it's older people, it's younger, and they get to write comments and tell you if they like it or what you can change. And in order to even post your poem, you have to read 2 poems and say what you like and don't like. And plus, it keeps him off doing things like video games and other things. It keeps him busy, it keeps him motivated. He wants to write a new poem, and so it keeps him writing. I hope that this video was